This is a pretty special place. Arizona is a pretty special place. I think the first time I went through it was on a train on the way east when I was a little boy. The energy here is, no matter how much development we have with cars and roads and computers and cell phones, and there's so many people and we're all interacting with each other and it's all happening, but when you just kind of look around a little bit at I can't help when I come to Arizona but look at the mountains and look at the natural world and look at the birds and stuff. You just can't, this place won't be denied that. Yeah. So, Ezekiel, thank you so much for today, for our ceremonies. We had 2 ceremonies blended together. I was made to understand what this pouch is, this memory pouch, which this idea of on your journey, if you have a moment of discovery, a moment of awakening, and you're next to something in nature, you can take a piece of it with you and, invest that experience you're having in that little pebble, and you can put it in your pouch. The idea that I would need a big old bag, Ezekiel, like a huge, like Santa Claus bag to fill all the little moments of self-realization I've had to have over all these years. But I love this one. This world is just, there's a lot going on planet Earth right now, and we need each other in ways that we don't even begin to understand. Programs like this that look to an individual, look to that thing inside an individual and say, I see that thing that's great inside you. I see that, and you're worthy of my time and my attention and my protection when we're on this road together. A very, very special, important program to have. My brother was a drug addict and an alcoholic, and he's talked very publicly about it, so I'm not speaking out of school, but at a certain point, you get to this place with people and you say, listen, I can't do your life for you. If you want help, I'll do whatever I can to help you, but I can't live your life for you. And I got a call from him at one point saying, yeah, remember that thing you said like a year ago? Yes, I remember what I said a year ago. Well, I'm ready for help. Bam. Spring into action. No idea actually how to help. Call my wife. Max said he's ready for help. Oh my gosh, what do? We need to find a place. We found a place in Ventura, California, and we got him to this place, and he did great with it. Mac would fill many, many pouches, and he has. He's so connected to the natural world. But the thing that I saw that was amazing in his journey was it only took a few moments there to realize that he had something to offer other people, that his life and his experience could nurture and encourage others. And so all of a sudden he went from a guy who was feeding in on himself to a guy who was helping other people. And he had a sense of mission and a sense of purpose. And it seems pretty clear talking to you and reading about Anasazi and listening, trying hard not to cry too hard during that video with your leader where she is. But it seems pretty hard that fundamental transformation, that process of going from not protecting yourself, not caring about yourself, that's the run third. When I say I run third for myself, it's because if I don't protect myself, if I don't take care of myself, I don't know how much I can be for other people. So it's critical to the universe that I take care of myself. So I run first for myself to acknowledge that I need me present. And I sense that with Anasazi, that's what people are doing when they're on this trail, is they're discovering that they have to take care of themselves, and that their experience is helpful to the people next to them. And so anyway, it's very, thank you, Mindy, very much for introducing me to the people here at Anasazi and making and brokering this sort of relationship. People always want to talk about the Goonies. You know, I give talks, like my mother was a famous bipolar sufferer. So when we talk about the importance of families contributing to the process, like that 2-day family camp at the end, like you can't succeed with young people if families aren't willing to contribute and willing to participate. And a lot of times we just don't know how to do it. So it's great to have a guide or a program that guides us and guides that, facilitates that. But what I know from talking to a lot of groups about mental health issues is that you just don't forget to talk about the Goonies. Like, don't forget to talk about Rudy, don't forget to talk about Lord of the Rings and the things people like. Because I wander down these rabbit holes of my own discovery, my own sense of myself, and I need to look up once in a while and remember everybody else. So, yeah. Goonies never say die. I can't believe that movie has just continued to live and live and live. People say, what's your favorite part about working on the Goonies? I say, I got to kiss the girl. What about the pirate treasure? That was fine too, but to kiss the girl. Rudy, so much heart. I'm so grateful to have been able to play that part. You know, yeah. Ezekiel, Rudy, there it is. What took you so long? Rudy. There's a million stories. I guess this Turn for Peace award, I really love that idea, the idea of turning for peace. My father, as a peacemaker, my father instilled in me at a very young age the importance of each human interaction that we have, and his sensitivity, his wisdom. He gave me all those things. So I love, you know, Dad and Mom. Yeah, I'm grateful to them for everything that they did for me and they gave to me. I have a speech here from the Two Towers. But I can't, a lot of times, this is a mic drop speech. So I have to say one thing after this, because this is J.R.R. Tolkien's words. And when the Two Towers came out, or actually right before the Lord of the Rings came out, the first one, The Fellowship, 9/11 happened. And it was just the movie came out in December, a couple months later. And it was just unbelievable that at this moment when all of Earth was like just recoiling from the idea of people doing evil at each other on this scale, and people who sort of weren't used to experiencing that, because it happens all over the world all the time anyway, but in America we weren't used to it. And what they did, the filmmakers went back, because they were finishing The Two Towers, the second movie, and they went back and we shot an additional scene. And they wanted to find language in the Tolkien universe that spoke to that issue. And so this is what they wrote. This is what Tolkien wrote, and this is what they put in there. It seems like I should just launch into this, right? I mean, okay. It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo. Can't drop this mic. Sort of. It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered. Full of... Oh, you want that one? You don't want me to break the microphone. No, these are good mics. Love it. Thank you for that. I shall begin again. It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo. The ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end. Because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going because they were holding on to something. What are we holding on to, Sam? That there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. So, yeah. Mindy, thank you for everything that you've done. We now have 26 programs where in elementary schools, there's after-school running programs. My participation has helped a little bit, but really what Mindy has done and the team she's put together, there are thousands of elementary school kids and now early high school kids who've been given a directed program that's affordable, and they've learned a lot, and so we're trying to build and grow that. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're representing Run Third here. I'm glad to represent Run Third here. But for Anasazi, it was a more emotional trip than I thought it was going to be for me to just come and receive positive energy and share a little bit about my life and work with you. But I'll just finish where I started, which is to say that there's a lot going on in this world. A lot more good than people really pay attention to, or at least in the news, they don't pay attention to a lot of the good that happens in the world. But there's a lot of struggles, and we really do need each other. And so I encourage us all, not just at a cool banquet, certainly with donations, but throughout our daily lives. We're coming into the holiday season now. Let's embrace each other. I mean, my wife and kids and I were evacuated from the fires down in Los Angeles for 5 days. That was awesome. And our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers and our good wishes are with a lot of people who weren't as fortunate as we were. The fire got close to us, but it didn't take our house. So we're back into it. We're looking forward to Thanksgiving, and we have a lot to give thanks for. But let's just all really, make a little commitment to ourselves, as so many of us do. But it's just nice to hear it out loud once in a while. Like, let's just keep caring about each other. I am gentle wind eagle, and I have spoken.